Hey guys, I just wanted to do my review of The Flash, Season 3, Episode 8, Invasion Part 1. This is probably the true official start of the crossover. I know it was marketed as a Fortnite crossover, but if you watch my video review for Supergirl, that was more self-contained because it was their mid-season finale and they wrap up a lot of plot threads, and it was basically kind of like a teaser at the end for when Barry and Cisco show up on what's now known as Earth 38, which is Supergirl's Earth. That's the designation they gave it, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was supposed to be an Easter egg for Superman's first appearance in Action Comics in 1938. And basically they follow the same tropes as a means of being like a nod to like the past crossover. So just like last year, when Barry saved Team Arrow from getting killed from Damien Dark, he also showed up to keep Oliver and Diggle from being shot to death by Vigilante after he first goes to investigate what he thinks is a meteor, but turns out to be the alien scout ship containing the Dominators, in which, Barry accidentally activates touches it and a force field sends him back, and they go running throughout Central City to set up some kind of device, an assault mine. And Lila comes in knowing that the government doesn't want Argus' intervention and tells Barry about how they invaded in 1951 and took people captive in Oregon, but they mysteriously left. And based on if you watched any of the trailers from the marketing campaign for the crossover, it looks like the Legends go back in time to that specific event and chase them off, and maybe that's the reason why the Dominators are invading Earth and find that the Earth is a threat to their race. Because we all know, the Legends are just as notorious for fucking up history as they do save it. But I also like how there are moments where it just shows how much, how strong the friendship is between Barry and Oliver, which is the fact that even though Cisco is the only vocal dissenting about Barry leading the whole massive team up, Oliver is the one who has enough faith in him that and says he's the one that brought us together, he should lead the charge. And which kind of leads to this funny moment where Barry's trying to figure out what to do, tell him what to do, and you can tell Oliver's telling him to tell the other people, not even whispering, is out loud, just telling him train against Kara, Supergirl, and fight against her as a stand-in for the Dominators. And Sarah makes a comment saying, okay, so we're supposed to pretend that he's not telling you so we don't hear Oliver. And they suit up, and of course, there's no kryptonite on Earth 1, so they all get their asses severely handed to them, which makes you wonder why Oliver's having everybody go against her when they're virtually no match for her in any sense whatsoever, any way, shape, or form. And by the way, Cisco was acted like a dick this entire episode. I was afraid of this. I was kind of hoping that maybe he would put his personal feelings aside and put his grudge aside for Barry indirectly causing his brother's death, considering it's a fucking alien invasion, it's an incoming apocalypse, it's possible human extinction. But he proves that he can't do that, especially since after Martin Stein and Jax tell him about the message they found on the Wave Rider, which turns out to be from Barry's future self, which basically tells Rip Hunter, listen, there's a war coming, you're gonna be called back to 2016 to fight the Dominators, but don't trust anybody or anyone you see, including me. And is basically just telling Rip Hunter about Flashpoint and the aftermath of it. And Oliver listens to the recording as well, and he's the one who advocates. We can't tell we can't tell anybody, we can't tell the rest of the team, the rest of the heroes this because it's going to be distracting. This is going to cause like dissent within the team, for lack of better terms. I should say cause tension within the team. And Cisco like hears, finds the recording and calls Barry out. Calls Barry out, trying to keep it a secret, and makes it end because because everybody overhears. Barry's forced to tell them about Flashpoint, and especially Diggle, about how his daughter was like erased from existence, and now he has a son instead of a daughter. Which I feel like Sarah, the legends were calling Barry out and like trying to change the timeline. And it just feels like, they're the last people who should be telling you about, messing with the timeline, since, like I said, they mess with history as much as they try to save it. And, I feel like Sarah especially should have been more empathetic for Barry's situation, considering how much she's been struggling with revenge and trying to, like, save her Laurel by killing Damien Dark in the past, and she only stopped doing that after from the intervention of her other teammates and trying to talk her down. And Diggle, I was surprised. I was surprised that he was also kind of pissed with Barry, because I watched a video where David Ramsey was at Hero and Villains Fan Fest in Atlanta, and he was asked about what his reaction was going to be to Flashpoint, and he said that Diggle would be more compassionate towards Barry, considering Diggle, at least from Diggle's perspective, he's not going to miss a child he never had. So it just seems like it just led to like this kind of like drama in which is the team like went off on their own to the Dominator's location after they kidnapped the President of the United States. And everybody, and Oliver was the one, as again, the testament to their friendship is when he says that this is crazy. We should be working together. We should all be going. And I'm like, I'm not going to this location without Barry. And just Diggle says that you'll be staying behind too. And everybody else takes off. And Supergirl says she still trusts Barry, but she realizes that she's lost the trust of the rest of the team, but she goes with them to just to make sure nothing happens. And Barry and Oliver in the Time Vault were looking at that future article that Eobard Thawne kept from season 1, except it's no longer written by Iris West Allen, it's now written by Julie Greer. And so now it's like it causes Barry to have some doubt about his future with Iris, and even makes the viewers doubt, is like, are they gonna still be together in the future? Are they still gonna get married in the future? Does she die between now and 2024? She's not gonna be a reporter, so it's like speculation there. And Barry is like, he's kind of like the middle ground between. He kind of beats up Barry. He's kind of tough on Barry, but in a sense that like he tells him, you know what, you gotta stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like you make mistakes. We all do. And he's probably the most sympathetic and probably gives like the best pep talk, I guess. Even the best pep talk where he just says is like, he explains the circumstances behind both his parents' death, and Barry said he never realized that, and he just says that he would do the exact same thing if he was in his position. Like he felt helpless to save his parents, like his own parents, Oliver, and he would do anything to get them back, even to this day. Some things are just meant to, some things were just always meant to happen. Were always meant to happen. People make decisions every day that affect other people's lives. So, even though time travel or not, and because it turns out that the Dominators were like setting a trap for the heroes, they end up killing the president and setting off this mind control device, which sends Supergirl, Thea, Diggle, Sarah, the Atom, and Firestorm under mind control, and they go back to Star Labs and start attacking. And it's basically Barry and Oliver versus like everybody versus all the other heroes. So Barry's able to use his like electrokinesis, like throwing lightning and take out Adam and Firestorm, and that leaves him with face off against Kara. He basically takes out everybody that has everybody that has who has the superpowers, and Oliver's fighting off against Diggle, Thea, and Speedy, basically, Team Arrow past and present. And Barry's using a combination of his super speed and I think he was either phasing or a speed mirage. He's able to trick a mind control Supergirl into destroying the mind control device. But in the meantime, Wally, who's been pissed that Joe and Iris had asked the Team Flash to lie to Wally about how he's been growing faster and has been able to hone his powers faster than Barry has in a short amount of time. That he wasn't able to participate in the fight against the Dominators, and he ends up going out and taking out the mind-controlled Team Arrow, and embracing the moniker of Kid Flash, but then he's automatically KO'd by Supergirl, and Oliver's trying to take him inside the Star Labs to attend to his injuries, but then he's confronted by the mind-controlled Team Arrow, and he doesn't have any arrows in his quiver, so he's just fighting in hand-to-hand combat with his sisters, Sarah and Diggle. But then, of course, the mind control is worn off, and then everybody's brought back to their senses. But things just go from bad to worse when Oliver, Ray, Thea, and Sarah are basically abducted by the Dominators. And this is where I think they're basically trying to, and I don't know if I mentioned Diggle. So yeah, Oliver, Diggle, Ray, Thea, and Speedy. Thea and Sarah are all abducted by the Dominators, and it's basically based on the trailers. They're basically connected to this like Matrix-like contraption on the spaceship, on the mothership for the Dominators, and they're put in this dreamlike state where, Oliver never got on the Queen's Gambit, and I think they're all the characters that were abducted were. It's really like the 100th episode celebration for Arrow, which is starting tomorrow night. And, they wanted to get as many people who were originally on that show back. Which is supposed to include Deathstroke, but basically, since Manu Bennett has basically just announced the show since he left, I think it's just going to be like a stunt guy in the Deathstroke suit like they had in like season 4. But like some other moments I like was the banter between Supergirl and Heatwave, which is when he was like, "I'm not gonna call you Supergirl. This is stupid." He says, "Well, you can call me Kara." It's like, that's stupid too. I'm just gonna call you Skirt. And ironically, before they get mind controlled, he's automatically saying, "Supergirl, do something." And then Iris finds out that Oliver is the Green Arrow, and her immediate reaction is, "Oh my gosh, he just got so much hotter." And Barry's like rolling his eyes because she knows that because he remembers how Iris is, Oliver is basically Iris' celebrity crush from like the very first crossover 2 years ago, which I figured was a nice nod. It was like a nice little nod, just like funny lines just thrown out there, like Wally asking HR to train him, and he was reluctant, saying is like, I'll be he's like, "I'll be out of here faster than humor in a Liam Neeson movie." But then HR decides to change his mind after Wally appeals to him, saying like, "Oh, we don't get our respect," and HR's the one who's like really honest with him. which I have mixed feelings about, because one, I know this is like they're trying to work on like a redemption arc to make HR a more competent character and more valuable member of the team, but it's like I don't know how he's going to be able to contribute to training a speedster based on lack of scientific knowledge, and he's just more of like a coach or a muse, as he puts it. And I just really, I don't know, I was just like really happy. I mean, for the most part, I was just like really happy with it. I think it was like one of the show's like better episodes, just Flash episodes individually. And even though it was a little bit slow paced, and you would have thought like some more action, at least it made up for it with all like the different like character moments that they had, and with Flash learning about the recording and learning how Snart died a hero, killing the Time Masters, and the response to Oliver saying that Sarah and crew are now calling themselves legends, and Thea making the response saying, well, egotistical, but it's catchy, which is, kind of a self-deprecating to what the fans are thinking, which is like, it is egotistical for them to be calling themselves that. Though I'm surprised is like Barry is not disclosed about the fact that the Reverse Flash is like one of still being alive, or like a time worm that's not running around forming a Legion of Doom, is like one of the is like how like as how like he's been as like how Barry's actions have affected them. But I think they're gonna be able to put two and two together about how like the apparitions that they've been trying to correct have been caused by Flashpoint. But yeah, I think I mean that's all like that's pretty much all like all the major points, and I think it's just kind of cool. I mean, I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen on the 100th episode, and this is going to be different, and it's going to be like a great homage to the whole like Arrowverse franchise, and I'm personally glad to see Laurel back, even though, like I said, it's part of a hallucination. I'm just happy to see Kate Cassidy back and to see like her incarnation of Laurel in this Matrix-like scenario that Oliver and company are in. So anyway, what do you guys think of the crossover? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.